Greetings, manifestors and navigators of the new Earth frequencies. I look down at my clock as I start recording this. It is 7:37, 73 into the 37, heaven on earth. What a doozy the last 24 hours have been. Now my throat chakra is fully opening now, so I might sound a little weird today, but we're gonna wing it. Let's see what we got here. Lots of activations and many downloads again today. At the end of this video, I'm going to post. I did a recording earlier this morning. I was in between worlds, so I might sound a little weird. As I was getting some downloads and activations, I recorded on my phone, so I might sound at times a little incoherent. And no, I was not drunk. So let me know what you think of it. I'll let you know before I start it. And with a lot of these energies coming in, it was funny, the downloads I was getting about this matrix, about this game, seeming like a type of game or simulation or virtual reality. When I looked at Laura Pleiadian's post, which I'm going to read later, and I titled when I saved it on my phone, A Game of Life, and her post today from Laura Pleiadian was titled In This the Game of Life. So maybe we received the same download at the same time. And there was a moment last night where it was almost as if time stood still with this stillness energy, that 0 point energy coming in. And a couple weeks ago I purchased this cool looking hourglass, and it's clear glass with like a light green, a soft green sand within it. There's something soothing about seeing that sand as it's falling through the hourglass silently as time's passing. So I bought that just to work with and play with, and last night before I left my office I started it, and it was about halfway through when I left. And then today when I came into my office, it didn't go all the way through. There was almost a little less than a quarter of the sand left in the top. So I kind of laughed to myself thinking, well, maybe time did stand still last night. You never know. But it was that strange feeling you feel where something may be off in the matrix, or maybe something is on in the matrix. The game is on. And this is the game where in the end, we are all winners. When we realized that there was no game to begin with, we created the game, went into the game, and played it to the best of our abilities. The game of separation, conflict, duality, and suffering. And the prize for all the winners is not a trophy, but eternal peace, eternal bliss consciousness. So thank you, players. Play on. So today we have a Schumann spike. There's an interesting patterns on the Schumann charts today. Some new patterns, some new energies, frequencies coming in. I'll post the image at the end of the video. We had today a spike at 49 hertz earlier today at 8 UTC time. So the 49 energy is the 13. Obviously on the 13th today of recording this video, the 1313 of the goddess, the divine feminine energies, with more of the feminine energies coming in tomorrow on Valentine's Day, which symbolizes the heart, love, relationship, romance, connection, all these things. We also had many earthquakes, over 138 in the last 24 hours, M1.5 or greater. And looking on the map on earthquaketrack.com, the whole ring of fire, especially the last 9 hours, looks like most of the 3.0 and larger were on the ring of fire, which is strange and interesting. There was a 4.9, so the 49 energy coming in again, I believe in the Aleutian Islands. And we also had a mega quake, massive earthquake in Japan, in northern Japan, close to Russia, and Hokkaido, Japan 6.9, and then all around the Ring of Fire we had, Aleutian Islands a 3.6 and a 4.2, New Zealand 4.5, 4.7 in Chile, South America, Indonesia 4.5, Taiwan 4.7, another Indonesia 5.2, another in Taiwan 4.6, Chile again 4.2, and then the Solomon Islands of King Solomon 4.6. So there's the 4.6, the 6.4 energies of the code of the matrix manifesting. We also had several eruptions. There were two volcanoes, two of them in Indonesia, along with the earthquakes. Some people believe that the volcanoes, and there's I think over 22 right now that are active and erupting. One of the volcanoes today, you can track this on volcanodiscovery.com. Reventador, I believe that's in South America or Central America. Ash shot 16,000 feet into the air today. And then Sangay or Sangay, Sangay, an ash, another ash cloud. And that one's in Ecuador. It's currently erupting. Then there was in Japan also an eruption, and then two in Indonesia today. So a lot of activity. Many people see these volcanoes as release valves for Earth as the internal pressures build up, releasing energy, along with these earthquakes, with the rising of the energies, the rising of the frequencies. These waves that flow through the Earth manifest with the motion through the Earth's ley lines. We're going to start today's first transmission from Laura Pleiadian. In this, the game of life, changes take place when no matter what people say or do or what situations arise, your thoughts and feelings are not impacted. Your sturdiness in this way of being, not attached to outcome, and the whirlwind thoughts that dictate your current experience resign in their importance and take the back seat to your heart. Then true changes take place. At that level, there becomes the awareness of not questioning the why, where, when, and what of things, as the predominant awareness is that of letting go of outcomes and existing as the cause, consciously, of your reality experience. This is taking responsibility for your own experience. The external is the dream world of reality, as if a virtual reality, and all the situations are players in this virtual experience. They shift as your awareness shifts. Your perceptions completely change as you exist within the scope of mastery being. In order to win and master this, the so-called game of virtual life, you must become the master of you through awareness. The focus of this then becomes the paramount launching pad for your next conscious timeline shift, parallel world experience, as you have then entered a new level in the game of life. Your heart plays the predominant role as the guider of this, which allows the thought patterns to resolve their chaotic patterns of launching schemes and plans to battle the external, which are all futile in the game of life, as once one battle is complete, the next new one begins disguised as new players. The key to this mastery takes great focus and attention beyond the intention. Similar to deciding to make changes to the form, yet sitting around and doing nothing, the will must be consciously included in this game, with the awareness of developed focus, as this becomes a piercing through the veils into form and levels that penetrate matter and awareness so deeply it changes the game. That is the true game changer in all of this, the cause imparted to you now. Wake up from the sleep of non-applied awareness. Dare to be conscious of how you are playing. Be the one conscious of how it is you are being in all moments. When you have mastered this, changes take place through you and all around you, because it is you. You are the one holding that remote, even if unaware. Wake up, all you that sleep deeply, and the moment has arrived for your maturing into taking that responsibility once and for all. Wake up and take notice of now, how you are being. In love, this is activated now, deeply, and the game continues throughout all dimensions. Maybe you will see me in your next parallel world. Experiences and life may shift dramatically now as the game has upped the ante of frequency. The magicians and the masters now are revealed. From Laura Pleiadian, the new divinehumanity.com. And from Judith Kusel, as the shift escalates and so much of the old is being released, be kind to yourself. When we have released, discharged old negative karmic patterns and old stories which no longer serve us, our souls have done the releasing, but now our physical bodies need to catch up. It takes about a week before the readjusting has been done, as you are being reprogrammed at cellular level and within your whole body. So often, if we were hurt or wounded or even killed in other lifetimes in a certain way, it will manifest as pain in our physical bodies until the memory bank is opened and the trauma released. Once it is released, know that you will still need to deal with your physical body catching up and readjusting. It will happen in old karmic relationships as well, where we finally can break free of negative karmic patterns and bonds which has kept us in the same old programming for many lifetimes. Once we have broken free, our whole system needs to readjust, and we are then freed at physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels as well. I see this as a miracle unfolding, as I am currently witnessing this in my own life. I cannot even express the relief when these wounds are finally healed, and one is freed at soul levels in ways I cannot find the words to express. This is going to happen more and more as we have this immense portal of opportunity to lay the ghosts of past lives finally to rest, as well as ancestral karma, and truly operate at a much higher frequency level. What a blessing this is. Higher healing in the highest degree, from JudithKusel.com. And from the Zolkin Times, Kin 216, Yellow Galactic Warrior. Galactic is the name for the number 8, and its keywords are harmony, integrity, and model. We are now on the 8th day of the Red Moon wave spell. Warrior naturally likes to go on missions, but during this laid-back wave spell, his sword stays firmly in its sheath. Today he is on a mission to find harmony, which is a noble quest. Today is Yellow Warrior, which represents intelligence, fearlessness, and questioning. Even if you are not a warrior, you can be one for a day. Take on a mission or quest, but do not go on a warpath. Seek out harmony, enjoy the spoils of your victory. From Christina Papagiorgio, Yellow Galactic Warrior, Kin 216, 13 February 2020, 13/2/2020, 424, equal 10. The 4/4 code building on the 22/22 gate energies. 13, Goddess Cosmic Consciousness. 13, Moons, Natural Lore. 4, Angelic Code, Earth, Foundation Form. 10, Manifestation, Leadership, Authority. 1, New Beginnings. Kin 216 equal 9, Destiny, Service, Compassion, Humanity, Grace. A very powerful day for building a solid foundation for new leadership. It is time to take the reins and fearlessly run with it. Day 8 in the Red Moon wave spell of the Goddess, who is enhancing our intuition and sensitivity as we purify our vessels in order to find our best flow. Today we are questioning everything all the way back to source in order to claim our authority and flow with pure illuminated consciousness. As it is a 13-day, the power of the Goddess is amplified. The Goddess asks you to soften and yield to the flow of the best and most fruitful path on your quest. Tone of creation, Galactic. Tone 8 in the mental realm. Action, modeling, power, harmonize, essence, integrity. The galactic tone will influence much mental analysis today. The most important factor is that we model integrity in our thoughts, words, and actions. We are modeling fearlessness and intelligence as the rainbow warriors of this new world. Are our intentions based on harmony through integrity of being? We need to reflect on the message from Spirit and ensure that we are aligned in order for us to evolve and become enlightened. Our plans need to be transparent and for the highest good of our community and planet, for them to hold up in these new energies. Our projects and business models will then serve as a model for others, following in our footsteps who hold the ideals of unity, peace, and harmony as a priority. At Tone 8, we have entered a new scale, and we are so proud. We just have to model ourselves for others. We have also mastered harmony at this stage. We are galactic, and don't we know it? So, precious hearts, a very powerful day to fearlessly face what needs to be questioned in order to find your flow and manifest your dreams. Surrender the battles and resistance as you yield to the goddess and float merrily down yonder stream. Today's question is, how can I use my intelligence to surrender and harmonize anything impeding my sovereignty and flow of fearless abundance? Divine blessings for harmonizing your fear and modeling fearless, pure, enlightened consciousness. In Icke, Alakin, Christina, White Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 216, Yellow Galactic Warrior. The mantra, the code for today is, I harmonize in order to question. Modeling fearlessness, I seal the output of intelligence. With the galactic tone of integrity, I am guided by the power of universal fire. And really feel into those mantras and codes. If you follow the link in the description below this video, you'll find a link to primedisclosure.com where we archive every transmission. We have hundreds of transmissions and archived articles and videos on our website that you can view at your leisure. So thank you for joining me today, beloved beings of light. Just got a loud ring in my right ear, the call of the dragon, calling us home to the crystal palace at the center. So the energies coming in are of the golden light, here now, through the crown, from the heavenly planes into the earthly planes. You may feel it open at the peak of your skull, down through the center of your body. We call the central channel or the Katika channel. As we anchor our highest light, our highest codes, our highest love into the grids, into the ley lines, into Gaia's heart center. Let us know, sacred ones, in the comments below what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, your visions, what you see for New Earth shining through. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and the little bell next to subscribe to get updates on our future uploads and downloads. So from here, I will play my transmission that came through in a download this morning as I was in between worlds. So enjoy if you can, and let go into the energies that come through this transmission. Or let it go. No matter what you need to do, just do it now. Here we go. Aho. When you start waking up from the matrix, from this dream, and start realizing that this thing we're experiencing with our mind is really just a game, you may feel a strange feeling inside. And what is this game? Ultimately, it is a game of hide and seek. Who's hiding and who's seeking? What do we seek? Freedom from the matrix? Realization of our true self? Meditation, when we quiet the mind, go within, and travel to the beginning of time and space, before anything was manifest, before the game began. Realize, remember, relink to that original one consciousness, that one pure awareness. We get this funny feeling. We may feel uncomfortable, or we may feel at peace. Depends on what the mind's doing. But in that pure state, if we go all the way, don't get stuck in another story like this one, but it may be different, we realize or make real the I am presence that created this whole story, this whole game, the game of falling asleep and then waking up, falling asleep into the dream, into the story, all for the joy of waking up, the joy of returning to innocence. We call that journey many different names, and the mind wants to debate those names and the story, but the master knows to let it all go. The guides guide you to that I am presence of the original mind to resolve all problems, all worries, all fears, that something bad may happen. But there is this resolution, this calming of the nervous system when we realize that we created all the problems. We created the monsters and the demons, and the archons and everything, the beauty and the great sordidness, the conflicts and the resolutions. Our original awareness that manifests this is in perfect harmony, is in total peace, total awareness. That is what the Zen master may call the unborn mind of Buddha. That is the creator, that is the manifester, that is source, God, truth, Yahweh, Allah, the creator that is beyond the manifestation. We use words like beyond and before, but the manifestation is the manifester. Emptiness is form, form is emptiness. There is no separation in that true awareness, that pure awareness. All conflicts are resolved in that pure state of being, that pure presence. And this journey of remembering and awaking to that pure awareness is part of this process of ascension. We say the fall of man, the fall of from grace. Grace is that pure awareness, our true self. We fell, in a sense, fell asleep into the dream that we created, that we manifest from that ocean of consciousness into these streams of consciousness we call the minds of man, of human. Some may call the fragmented selves, or the individual consciousnesses that we are experiencing. They do exist, but it is not real. We are really experiencing these stories, these dreams, as part of the adventure, as part of the experience, part of the experiment. And what an adventure it has been, beloved one. We've learned a lot, but now we know we have suffered enough, and it's time to let the story go. Wake up from the dream. We may say, wake up, wake up, wake up, and remember, I am the dream and the dreamer, the witness and the witnesser. What am I witnessing? My manifestation. And why would we create the dream, the story in the first place? Well, why would you read a book? Why would you watch a movie or go to a play? Really contemplate that. Perhaps for the sheer enjoyment of it, for the pleasure of it. And in this movie, there may be pleasure, there may be pain, there may be suffering, there may be conflict, there can be death, life, joy, love, all these things. Maybe we read a book to learn, to understand, to obtain knowledge, seek truth, or maybe just for fun, entertainment. The mind likes to be entertained. Is it entertaining to sit and stare at a wall for an hour? The mind may say the void is boring, or it's nonsense. So instead of sitting in the dark, I'm going to sit in front of this big white screen while this light projects onto it these images, motion pictures, still images flashing before our eyes that appear to be moving, watching people running around, chasing each other, killing each other, loving each other, anything you can imagine. The creative energy that goes into this movie, this play, this story, reading a book, learning something new, entertaining the mind with these great adventures and mysteries and romance. Anything you could think of can be contained within this book, within this movie, within this video game. And what a blast it has been. But in these moments of accumulated sufferings and conflict and pains, the collective has reached a point where we have said we have suffered enough. And is it because our nervous systems over time have become more sensitive to the light, to the energies? Perhaps. I don't know. These are just questions that come up along the journey. Let's test these things out. Let's see if we can resolve these problems. Let's see if we can find a solution to the suffering. It's like Barry Long once said, one of the greatest questions we can ask ourselves is, have I suffered enough? Because until we resolve the suffering, until we find solutions to the pain, the universe will give us more suffering. Our higher self will keep giving us this suffering until we say, okay, now I remembered why I created suffering, so that I would seek out myself, so that I would seek out the Great Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to assist this consciousness in resolving and ending suffering, the wheel of birth and death, the wheel of karma, whatever name you might give it. When we're in it, when we're in the dream, and the suffering brings you closer to God, you realize that, hey, I don't really like this suffering that much. And obviously, there's many different levels of suffering. You may stub a toe or lose a limb. Which one is worse? Which one do you think may cause you to question life at a deeper level? Question this non-reality in a way that'll take you deeper within? I mean, there's no guarantees. Nothing is set in stone. So that's why the questions keep coming until we either guide ourselves or seek out a guide to assist us in this journey to return to innocence, return to the purity, return to God. You may seek out a religion to assist you, seek out a priest, pray to God. You may become Christian or Muslim, seek out Islam. Maybe the Buddhists will assist you in resolving your suffering. We do not know. One size does not fit all. But when we may find assistance in some kind of spiritual practice, we may think this is the way, it's the only way. And we start preaching that we have the best way. But is this truth? Is the truth? We'll use the word true because we know the truth is beyond words. What's true may guide you to the truth. So we'll say, is it true that only one religion, religie, will reconnect you to Source, the Creator? Based on my perception and experience, that's nonsense. It's actually quite silly, because truthfully, do we really need a religion, a spiritual practice, to attain anything? If we are already one with Source, with God, Creator, Great Spirit, whatever name you want to give to the ultimate consciousness, the God consciousness, is there really anything to attain? Why do we even practice a spiritual art? There's only really one reason. The mind comes up with many reasons, but there's only one reason why. Because we forget. We fell into amnesia for a moment. It may seem like an eternity, or might seem like forever, but in eternity, these stories are but a blip on the radar. Not even a blip, a non-blip. And in a sense, we joke about it. We come up with these concepts because we know the mind may need a million examples of this one truth, but they all lead you back, or forward, or beyond. However you want to look at it, you're free to choose the words you want to use to explain the unexplainable, the unknowable mind, because it's beyond the mind. It's beyond the concepts that the mind can conjure. Or we may say it's beyond the false mind. The true mind of Source, of God, resolves all these things. And then we realize that all words, all feelings, all concepts remove you from that pure awareness, from that pure stillness, that emptiness, that void that we manifest from. And we may even say our original mind is beyond even that, even beyond the emptiness. Because emptiness and void is still a concept, still something created. So keep going through and through and through till the mind, the movement in the mind, the motion, the ocean of consciousness becomes as still as a mirror and reflects itself perfectly. In Icke, Alakin, Namaste.